Ambassador Thekvar's tentacles trembled as he approached the massive viewport of the Terran command station, orbiting Alpha Centauri. The sight before him defied every historical record, every whispered legend his people had passed down through generations. Where once empty space had stretched between the stars, now gleamed the impossible. A network of human megastructures spanning light years, connecting star systems like pearls on cosmic strings. Impressive, isn't it? The voice belonged to Admiral Sarah Chen, her tone carrying the casual confidence that had made the Galactic Council's collective species shudder for the past 50 years. She stood beside him, hands clasped behind her back, watching her civilization's greatest achievement with the same expression one might reserve for a pleasant sunset. Thekvar's translator struggled with the complex emotions churning through his consciousness. We thought you were gone, dead. The records from the Great Exodus showed your ships limping away from Sol, barely functional, your homeworld burning. Admiral Chen turned, her dark eyes reflecting starlight. Oh, we remember. 800 years ago, when your precious hegemony decided humanity was too unpredictable for galactic society. When you glassed Earth's surface and drove us into the void with nothing but damaged colony ships and broken dreams. The ambassador's chromatic skin shifted to deep purple, a sign of profound distress among his kind. The decision was made by the Council of 12. My people, the Vorthak, we merely complied. We had no choice. No choice. Chen's laugh held no warmth. Funny how often that phrase appears in your histories. No choice but to follow orders. No choice but to commit genocide. No choice but to assume we'd simply fade away into the cosmic dark. Through the viewport, a massive cargo hauler drifted past, easily the size of a moon, its hull bristling with fusion drives and gravitational manipulators. Smaller craft swarmed around it like luminous insects, their purpose unclear, but their technology obviously far beyond anything the galactic hegemony possessed. How? Thekvar whispered. How did you not only survive, but this? Your infrastructure spans dozens of systems. Your ships move faster than our best theoretical models suggest possible. Your population? He gestured helplessly at the countless lights below them. 7 trillion humans across 47 star systems, Chen supplied helpfully. With more being born every day, would you like to know the secret to our success, Ambassador? Thekvar nodded, though every instinct screamed at him to flee. You kicked us out when we were still children, cosmically speaking. Still tied to one world, still dependent on others for our place in the galaxy. But there's something you never understood about human nature. We don't just adapt to adversity. We weaponize it. The Admiral walked to a control panel, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. The viewport's image shifted, showing a historical projection. Human colony ships, their hulls scorched and trailing atmosphere, limping away from a burning Earth. Those refugees you scattered to the winds, they landed on worlds you considered uninhabitable, ice planets where the atmosphere froze solid for half the year. Desert worlds with radiation levels that would kill most species in hours. Ocean planets with crushing pressure and toxic seas. The image changed, showing human settlements on these hostile worlds. First small, desperate outposts, then growing communities, then sprawling cities that seemed to embrace their harsh environments rather than simply endure them. While you maintained your comfortable worlds with perfect gravity and optimal atmospheric composition, we learned to thrive in hell. We didn't just survive on those dead rocks. We turned them into forge worlds. Every hardship became a teacher. Every near extinction became a lesson in resilience. Thekvar watched in growing horror as the projection showed human technology, evolving at an impossible rate. Fusion power plants that functioned in absolute zero. Biological modifications that allowed humans to breathe methane or withstand crushing gravity. Ships designed not just for transport, but for permanent habitation, in the void between stars. When your scout fleet started reporting human ships in sectors you thought empty, your leaders assumed we were still the same species you'd expelled, still bound by the same limitations, still thinking in terms of planets and solar systems. Chen's smile was sharp as a blade. They couldn't comprehend that we'd become something else entirely. The image shifted to recent battles, if they could be called that. Hegemony fleets, representing the combined might of 12 advanced civilizations, dissolving under weapons that seemed to bend reality itself. Human ships phasing through solid matter, striking from dimensions the hegemony couldn't even detect, let alone defend against. 8 centuries of perfect peace broken only by the occasional skirmish with primitive civilizations on your borders. You grew soft, Ambassador. You forgot that evolution doesn't stop just because you're comfortable. Tekvar's tentacles coiled tightly around his torso, a defensive posture his species had evolved over millions of years. What do you want from us? Revenge? Our worlds? Our species? Admiral Chen turned off the projection and faced him directly. We want what we've always wanted. What you denied us 800 years ago. Recognition, respect, our rightful place among the stars. And if we refuse? The Admiral gestured toward the viewport, where human megastructures stretched beyond the horizon. Look around you, Ambassador. Look at what we built from nothing, in the spaces between your worlds, using technologies born from desperation and tempered by centuries of struggle. Do you really think your refusal matters anymore? Tekvar felt something cold settle in his crake, and not fear exactly, but the recognition of inevitability. The hegemony will never accept human dominance. There are species who would rather see the galaxy burn than submit to the species they tried to exterminate. Chen's voice hardened. Let them try. We've already survived your worst. What we built from the ashes of Earth isn't just a civilization, Ambassador. It's an empire forged in the void itself, tempered by 8 centuries of exile, and driven by the absolute certainty that we will never again allow anyone to decide our fate for us. Outside the viewport, another human ship arrived from the direction of Seoul, massive beyond comprehension, its hull inscribed with symbols in a dozen human languages. Among them, barely visible but unmistakably present, were the names of every world the hegemony had forbidden them, every star system they'd been driven from, every battle they'd been forced to fight alone. The age of the galactic hegemony is over, Ambassador, Admiral Chen said quietly. The age of humanity has begun. The only question now is whether your people want to be part of our new order, or join the old one in the history books. As Tekvar stared out at the impossible sight of human civilization stretching between the stars, he understood with crystal clarity that this wasn't a negotiation. It was a declaration. Humanity had returned not as refugees begging for acceptance, but as conquerors offering terms. And for the first time in 800 years, the galaxy would learn to fear the dark between the stars, because that's where humanity had been waiting all along.